Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play F-Zero. This is the expert mode, the Queen League. And you'll notice there are 5 races for each one, and we'll get to that in a second. But here it is, Mutant City 2. The tracks in the Queen League are a little more difficult. And some of the tracks are pretty brutal. But we'll manage. Another thing I wanted to point out is that my Super Mario Bros. 3, as part of the Super Mario All-Stars Let's Play, is going to be starting pretty soon. I've already played through it a little bit, played through the game, just to give an idea of what I need to do, or want to do overall. And I wanted to mention that I'm going to have a special contest for this Let's Play. And I don't know how many Let's Play channels have done this before, and it'll probably start Tuesday or Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe, or at least if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and check it out as soon as it comes out. The first video of Super Mario Bros. 3 will have the special contest. And I hope it works out. I've got something interesting lined up, and something that might be fun for you guys too. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. I've ran it by a few of my friends already. They think it's interesting. The only thing is it's going to be one milestone we're going to have to try to reach in order to make the contest really work. But we're going to see what happens. I've got a consolation. Well, yeah. I've got a situation in case it doesn't. But we'll have fun, I hope. But I'm really going to need you guys' help, all my subscribers' help with this contest. So, you'll see when it gets there. It's not going to be overwhelming. The challenge I've posted, or the milestone I've posted, is not that overwhelming. It could have been, but it's not that bad. And it's a risk, too, but risk is all part of the game of life. You know, I've had people explain to me before, especially on YouTube channels, or things that aren't going to make a whole lot of money, or any money at all. Like, you should never spend money on something that never makes money, but for those of you who don't know, I'm also an avid hiker, and I love to go backpacking and hiking a lot. And if you go hiking, you're going to spend money on it. Even though it's not that expensive, but you spend money on equipment, gas, food, you know, backpacking, backcountry fees, and all of this stuff. And it's a hobby that I love doing, so I don't mind spending a little bit of money on it. It's like this hobby. I don't mind spending a little bit of money on it, because it's a hobby, you know. I've already got a good job as a software developer, so why worry, you know? We had a record lap in that one. That was pretty good. Port Town 1. This one's got a pretty cool jump in it. And the music's really good too. I like that. I like the music in this game. I was trying to look up the composer of the game and can't remember off the top of my head. Should have written it down, but I didn't. For a second I thought it was Soya Oka, who did Pilot Wings in SimCity. Because it kind of sounds like her, but it really isn't. It's not. I'll look it up. I'm sure somebody's going to comment and tell me. Also want to thank all the subscribers out there and the positive feedback that I've been getting. And the people that enjoy the channel, I really thank you a lot for watching. And hopefully with the Let's Play for Super Mario Bros. 3, you guys are going to enjoy, hopefully, what we do there. And you'll get a chance to get something back, I hope. Again, if I haven't mentioned it, if you jump, you'll get kind of a speed boost, and as long as you hold down, when you land, you won't lose any speed. And here with the magnets on either side, I got really lucky here because I kind of got ahead of this guy and I let him boost me. But the magnets, you kind of hold R, left L and R, and kind of dig your wing into the ground, and that usually helps. And yes, some of this is tool assisted, but I'd rather do a nice polished game, or a nice polished video, than screw around, you know. And plus, I'm a software developer. I like bending the rules a little bit, seeing how far I can push a game, or push programming, or testing it, or finding bugs, things like that. Kind of like when I did my SimCity. I really like the fact that some people out there really push the limits of the game. Like somebody got 174,000 in the practice city, and I still couldn't figure that out or reproduce it, but whatever. I got a 1 up there. I got a record lap, I think, there too. This is a fun little level too. I like how the tracks are pretty much planar, as in they don't change elevation, but the angles can be really odd with odd curves and whatnot, so it really works in the Mode 7 graphics. And I like the Mode 7 graphics. Well, if you've ever taken linear algebra, and it's been about 8 years since I've taken linear algebra, if you've ever, no longer than that, probably 10 years. If you've taken linear algebra, you'll realize that matrices are used a lot in computer programming, and also in physics problems, because matrices are used in what is called tensors, I believe. It's been a while since I've done anything like that, or read anything about that, but from what I've led to understand, with matrices, you can put everything on a vertex and easily rotate it using a matrices transformation through linear algebra. And I encourage you to look that up, or if you want to take a class like that in college, I encourage you to take it, but fair warning, if you take linear algebra, make sure you've got your matrices notation down pat, or else everything's going to look like cuneiform or Sanskrit. And that was my problem. I really had not brushed up on my matrices notation, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on there. And the teacher was great. The professor was really good, but I just couldn't figure out the applications. Like, what was the deal with the application to this, you know? And then later on, I kind of figured out, oh, you know, that's what it meant. One of these levels we're coming up on has a really, really sharp U-turn in it, and I found kind of a little trick to it. I treat these levels kind of like a Formula 1 track, where I try to not just find the shortest route, but the shortest route that I can do quickly. If I can exit out of a turn and speed up, that's great. If you time it right, you can jump on all 3 of those. It's pretty cool. My dog says hi. She's in my lap right now. She's actually trying to sleep. Something else is these tracks are actually just a little bit above the landscape. If you'll notice that. Now this is a really horrible track. It's in really difficult. Very narrow parts, and this is the section I was talking about, like a Formula 1 race. You want to go into the curve as sharp as you can so you can accelerate out of the curve. I made a big mistake there. I like the music in this level too, this track. Also with my channel, I was trying to figure out what games I want to do. I've already attempted to do Cairo. I may redo that first video one more time just because I found a different way of doing it. And I want to emphasize a little of quality there over quantity, if I can. And I also want to do more independent games. And that was really cool there. I really lucked out with that turn. You can hear my dog scratching herself now. If you just do a real sharp turn at the last part, you can kind of accelerate out of the turn. You can actually steer yourself in the middle of the air, too. I actually like this game. I know there's, I think it was the F-Zero X. I should try that game out sometime. I mean, this game was really kind of short, but they rushed to put this game out. So there were only 15 tracks. But considering, you know, I like how they did it. I like how they did it. I really do. You can barely make it through there at full speed. 478. Here you really have to slow down. And those little rectangular things are magnets that kind of pull your vehicle down. I don't know why they just didn't decide to make an aluminum car instead of something that's actually magnetic. I don't know. I would do that. I mean, if track had a whole bunch of magnets in it. Of course, I mean, I'd try to make my car non-magnetic. But, you know, I guess they weren't thinking about that. Maybe it's a regulation in F-Zero, your cars have to be magnetic. And the final track. I think this is the longest track, too. Boom, 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 boom. I know that was out of sync. This is what I'm talking about, the double U-turns here. Double U-E's, double horseshoe curves, or whatever you want to call them. Hairpin turns. I find there, as long as you cut the corners and slow down enough, you'll make it straight through, and the AI won't have the chance or ability to do that. Because for some reason it wants to stay in the middle of the track as much as possible. It doesn't like to cut corners like we do. I think this is probably the hardest track, due to this part right here. You just have to get it down pat. And it's got ice too. I wonder if anybody's ever figured out a way on some of these tracks that have like sections to them. If they could figure out a way to jump across to the other section and if it would break the game. I haven't figured out a way to do that though. But I'm kind of curious now. Up we go, down we go. That's a pretty tough U-turn right there, hairpin turn. I got really lucky there. Once that was recorded in the game, I was like, yeah, I'm keeping it. The game would be a lot easier if we didn't have those stupid drones everywhere, but we do. This lap is actually, well, this track is actually taking out the energy of my car. And we're finished. Now we get to see all of our lap times and see this kind of a walk-looking Fire Stingray. It does look kind of funny from the front. It's really strange. Whatever. But we did a good job. Anyways, I'm gonna put up the next Unreal video pretty soon, probably later tonight, and then I'm gonna work more on Super Mario 3, and then when that's done, I'm gonna move on to Super Metroid and Cairo. Cairo is gonna be after Unreal, though. Super Metroid, I want to practice it a little further, and I'm trying to see if I can get something special for Super Metroid as well. I'm gonna see how well Super Mario 3 does first. And here are the credits again if you want to watch them. Kinda wish the credits would go by a little faster. Let me cut out the credits in the next video though. I mean, they could have, I don't know, they could have put these names a little closer. That name should be familiar to some of you. Trying to see if I recognize any other of these names here. Some of them look familiar. Well, yeah. I really rushed this game out, but it was a good idea. I mean, it really showcased the ability of the Super Nintendo. That's a good idea, I think. And there you go. On the next episode, we are going to take care of... well, you'll see in a moment. The King League. And we'll do expert level. I'm not going to do the master level, so... thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.